Do you still have a job? Well, if you do, and you dream of one day of being able to tell your boss, take the job and shove it, then listen to this video, watch this video. If that's your case, then you're among the 83% of Americans. 83% of American workers are not fully engaged and satisfied with their work. Imagine that. Less than 1 out of 5 people are really happy with their job. They're really engaged. They look forward to going to work every Monday. So if you're in that 1/5 group, then hey, move on. Continue on with what you're doing. I'm impressed. Uh, my son worked for a big technology company, and every year they had a Gallup survey of employee satisfaction, of employee engagement, and year after year the results came back the same. Only 10% of the employees were fully engaged. Imagine that. Oh, they had over 100,000 employees and only 10% were really engaged and really giving their job their best. You would think that would be enough to stir management up, wouldn't you, to see what they do to fix that problem, but they didn't care. Another story is a friend of mine who is worked for a large international consulting firm, and his clients were typically Fortune 100 companies. And their main concern when they would engage him was to cut costs. And of course, the easiest way to cut costs is to lay off employees. And what's amazing is they didn't care about customer satisfaction. They didn't care about service. All they cared about was just cutting costs, because when they did, then their stock would get a bump in value, and the top management would get an increase in the value of their stock. So they didn't care about the employees. They didn't really care about their customers or their other stakeholders. I was on a call last night with a 67-year, well, actually it was a real estate call, and we were talking about investing in real estate, buying different properties. And at the end of the call, there was a 67-year-old man who came on the call, and he was practically, it sounded like he was in tears. And he said he had not been living his dream. He had not been pursuing real estate investing. He'd done nothing to get what he wanted to get done. And so we were waiting for him to say, okay, but I'm going to start today. Instead, he said, I'm not ready. So if you're saying you're not ready, that means you're never going to pursue your dreams. So what should you do? Well, I would start with your why. Why do you want to make extra money? If that's your goal, that's a great goal. Why do you want to leave your job? There's something about your job that you don't like. We know that job security is a thing of the past in America. When I was a young man, IBM was one of the big employers in our town. And, you know, if you're a good employee, it was lifetime employment. They paid great money, great benefits, great vacation. And if you really didn't like your job, they would help you relocate to a different position. And they had bonus programs, and it was really a great place to work in those days. So IBM was one of these companies that my friend was he was aware of. And IBM was getting ready to lay off 125,000 people, but only 25,000 of them were getting severance. Well, back when I was young, if you worked for IBM and something happened and they had to lay you off, guess what? You always got severance. They would take care of the people. Now even IBM doesn't really care. So find out your why you want to get extra money, why you want to leave your job if that's your goal, and then develop a daily action plan. That action plan would include contacting people who need funding for a business, a charity, or a personal need, personal expense. Develop that plan. Then start immediately. Make a minimum number of contacts with your prospects each day, whatever that number is. Pick a number. I'll help you in a second, maybe with some suggestions. But research has shown over and over again it takes 7 touches or 7 contacts with a prospect before they actually buy. So we want them to buy as marketers or salesmen. We want people to buy right now when we're in front of them. But people will buy when they're ready to buy. And so unless you show up on that day when they're ready to buy, you may never get that sale. So we need 7 touches. We need 7 touches with each individual contact before we know if they're going to buy or not, before we get the yes. So what do touches include? Well, they don't have to be necessarily something really big, but here's a couple things I've listed for you. It could be email message, it can be a text message, a phone call, a blog post, a postcard. The thinking of you card, which doesn't really even have a marketing message, just maybe it has your business card in it, a live presentation in front of them, invitation to training, a personal letter, lumpy mail, Facebook IM, a newsletter, or video. Any of those touches count. And obviously, you wouldn't do. I would recommend doing. I would recommend doing the same one over and over again, but I would do a variety of those different touches because you never know what will really communicate with people. So remember, people make decisions when they're ready to make a decision, not when you're ready. So as far as a suggestion for a number of touches per day, if you're part-time, I would suggest 5 touches a day with 5 different people. And it could be different stages of the progression. If you're full-time, I would suggest 25 touches a day. So success to you and your project. This is Bill Moist. If you'd like to get on my YouTube channel, then go to bit.ly/Bill Moist, MOIST channel. Until next time,